That is what it is about. It is about elevation. Are you willing to take the necessary steps to move to the next level? Because everyone is not willing. So I'm going to ask you all, those of you who are watching this live and those who catch our replay, are you ready? If you're ready, put "I'm in the comments. That's what I need you to say. I'm in. I'm in to going to my next level. I'm in to building my legacy. I'm in to building my business. I'm in to taking this to higher heights and not only freeing myself, but freeing a few other people around me as well. I'm in. That's what I need to see in the comments. That should be rolling through the comments, unless you're not ready. Now listen, some of y'all might not be ready. It's okay. I'm all right with that. But for those of you that are ready, I need to see I'm in all throughout those comments. And so what we're going to do, because she is about to rip the veil open on this one, if I don't let her go, is I'm going to introduce you to the amazing and phenomenal Jonya Whittingham. This woman here, had to take a pause on that one, is an amazing woman. Former VP of JP Morgan, when I tell you that she left her job in order for other women to not only have this tenacity, but the wisdom to be able to do the same, that is what she's done. So literally, you have seen her in publications from Red Book to Huffington Post. You see her live on Facebook, Instagram, and on Periscope each and every day when she comes in and she gives you those tips for you to quit with that mindset, with that mentality, with them lies we've been telling ourselves. That's exactly what she does each and every day. And she is coming to the Instance of Black Telesummit to do none other less than make sure that you understand what it means to have revenue, residual, and reach. So, go ahead, Sonya. Take it away.
I just want to tell you guys this briefly before we bring Janine up, that my vision for you is to live a life in the black ranges, black cards. You don't have to live a life of less than. And whatever is standing in the way of you having what you really should have, as you listen to these speakers this week, I want you to see yourself in their space. As you watch the things and listen to the things that they have done to propel them to this next level, I want you to see yourself in their space. If you've not registered to get these free gifts and to be able to hear from these speakers all week long, go to bit.ly/black webinar, BLAQ webinar. And guys, again, this is my gift from me to you. Use it. Do not be in this same space this time next year saying shoulda, woulda, coulda. It's open for you. It's open for me. Never has the internet been so available. Never have there been so many digital tools. Never has the world had so much need than right now. So it is up to you to stop playing small. If you're on Facebook, I'm going to be doing some special giveaways for those people that share the video. And yes, I can see who shares the video. So if you haven't shared, go ahead and share it. Yeah, I can see who shares the video. Guys, I don't know. I can't make you listen. And I can't make you participate. But I will go to bed and sleep on a pile of money knowing that I tried to help you. I'll sleep good. Because I didn't just take my pile and go sit down somewhere. I took my pile and said, you can get your pile too. So with that being said, I'm ready for Janine. She probably over there running in place. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm ready. Alto Beast. Bring her on into the ring.
Over there, Janine is like, come on, just give it. All I need is one mic. Yes, ready? Listen, for those of you that do not know, okay, so this is my sis from across the pond. Can't y'all tell we look just alike? Yes. same height and everything in my mind. No, it doesn't. Same height and everything, just non-judgment zone. So Janine Cummings is an amazing woman. The founder of the Boston Live Tribe and Boston Live TV that can be found on Periscope and Facebook. She literally helps women to elevate their business and themselves through live streaming. Now, for all of y'all that literally say, I'm scared to press the button, she is the woman with the most that will help you to not only press the button, but press it in such a way that you will gain reach, because she has over 50,000 followers. I mean, that's a little bit. I mean, that's a little bit, right? That's a little bit. With over 50,000 followers, she has also been the founder of a global network that she raised literally to over 5,000 women strong globally. Listen, if you want to know how to live and how to use that video, the one that you watching right now, how to use that to be able to elevate yourself and your business, Janine is definitely the person that you want to connect with. So Janine, tell me what you got, sis.
Hey, hello everyone. Well, thank you firstly, ultimately, for that fantastic. You made me sound great. I love it. Thank you as well, Coach Danielle, for the opportunity. So, for those of you who don't know me, you might not have heard this before. As obviously said, my name is Janine Cummings. I'm a live stream and visibility coach, author, speaker, and also the founder of the Boston Live Tribe and Boston Live TV. My whole ethos is to help women, support women to share their story, to understand the power of their story, and this wonderful thing that we have that is live streaming is an amazing, shiny, my precious object that will help us to be able to, I believe, share our story to inspire, and not only just inspire, but save the lives of somebody, those out there who need to hear specifically from us. So whoever is out there at the moment, you may be thinking, well, live streaming, I'm not sure, I'm not confident, I don't know what to say. Somebody needs to hear from you. You literally will save someone's life. I encourage my clients, and I encourage all the women who I reach to use press that live broadcast button and do it as an authority. That's pretty much it with me.
So Janine, one of the things that I don't think people really get a grasp of is just how much opportunity you have by utilizing grassroots sources like social media and live streaming.
Yes. I 100% agree. A lot of people don't understand the power that they have to be able to have reach on their business, be able to creatively share their expertise. And what I want people to understand is they need to start thinking outside of the box. Don't be limited in thinking, well, I don't know what to do with this. You've got to take what it is that you have. Like you've said, Danielle, many times, monetize thyself, monetize everything. And, this is the best way to do it, because all you have to do is just press that button on your device. No longer do we need to have a journalism degree, presenting, having posted on TV, to have our own show that we will broadcast to the entire world. And if your strategy is right, you can really change the life. Firstly, change your own life, change the dollar or the pound, and you can really make the life, create the life that you actually want. So that's my whole ethos. I really want to push women. That's what I do. Push women to just really get outside of their comfort zone and to really share their message powerfully.
And I think we have similar interests, Janine, because I not only want you to get outside of your comfort zone and share your message, I want you to be compensated accordingly. See, as women, I really feel like we've got to stop running around saving everybody else and not being able to pay our own light bill, not being able to pay our own water bill. Who are you saving if you're saving lives, and in return for that, you're not monetizing those efforts? So what would you say to the individuals, the women that are watching? They just want to run and go press the button, or they want to run out and speak on stages, but they're not really requiring people pay. And I know it's a journey. I know it's hard, but we've got to get there, because you recently left your job, right, Janine?
Yes, I 100% did. And just to give a little bit of my background, Sonia, we've had many conversations where a lot of individuals, if you're like myself, I started my life journey never thinking about it being a career. I just found this thing that I was passionate about, and I went with it with no real strategy or no real realization of how fantastic, phenomenal an opportunity it actually was. And what I came to realize is that it's not just enough to have a gift and have a passion. That's great, but you need to turn on its head and know that you can use that to actually have monetary gain and inspire. So for me, I actually came to the point in just May of this year. How many conversations have we had, Danielle?
It's okay, baby. That's okay. It's okay.
But the realization for me came when I was recovering from surgery, and I got to halfway through my recovery, and I started getting really bad anxiety about going back to work. And I just thought, you know what, there's got to be something else I can do here. So I prayed about it. I got my notepad out and I did my journal. And I sat down and I thought, you know what, there is more. I'm not joking. I got that notepad and pen out. I was like, right, okay, this is what I have. This is what I have been able to do. This is what I'm actually good at. So now let me just look at what I can do. And when I actually put it down on paper, I just thought to myself, this is not something that I should miss the opportunity on. I would be doing myself, like I said, as a service, and doing all of those amazing women as a service as well. But for me, I'm just being totally honest, it was a bit of a process, because I went through that whole struggle of, my self-worth and value. Can I really charge? And I think I've seen you multiple times, and I know, Coach Danielle, everyone who's watching will know that you have been an advocate for saying that we need to start charging our worth. As women, we need to understand exactly who we are, and we need to not shy away from it. We not need to question it. We not need to say, can I do that, or do what I did and charge too low? We must know that our gifts and our talents and abilities are worth so much more. And for me, I've had, since quitting my job, and I was in corporate for 13 years, getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, going out and doing my running, going to work all day, tired, coming home late, thinking that's what I had to do, getting stuck in that limited mindset space. I just thought to myself, no, I'm going to take a chance because I'm good at this. And that's another thing that we have to do. We have to own who we are. We have to own our gifts and our abilities and our talents. And we need to promote that shamelessly. That also helps with the actual reach. So for me, I've not looked back. It took me a while to get here, but for those that are here, that are listening to this, all the amazing things that have got to come, and what Coach Danielle said, is that don't wait, don't sit back, don't limit yourself, don't limit your value, and just go out there, because never have we had this opportunity. We need to understand this is kingdom business right here. This is God's business. Like, this is God's business. I'm running with it. Who else is running with it?
Exactly. And you know what, Janine? And you're right. We had several conversations.
We have.
I'm not going to call you out, but that's why coaching is a
Okay.
That's why coaching is a process. You need somebody in the world to tell you you're already great. And I would say, Janine, you're a girl. You're already great. You just need to put a price tag on the greatness. And sometimes it takes you a minute to see it, because of the many times that the world has told you maybe you're not so great. This person maybe told you you're not so great, or this relationship made you feel not so great, or this job put a price tag on you that was not so high. We've all been there, though. We've all been there. And the thing that brought me out was coaching and conversations. And I remember having conversations with peers that went before me, and they said, girl, you got to let go of that job. You got to trust that God's going to provide. You got to put a price tag on your gifts. And so now, I coach women to do the very same thing. Trust in your gifts, trust in your talents, and you're going to be okay. Janine, one thing I'm passionate about is this whole being a pioneer space.
Yeah.
Because that's what we are right now. We are pioneers. And there is still room. There is still room for people to get on board. You know, live streaming is still in its infancy.
Exactly.
And I know you teach live stream. I teach live stream. But live stream is still in a place where if you get on board early, you still have an opportunity to rock it out. What do you say to the people who are afraid of that space?
Well, what I would say to people is that the whole typical thing, what Les Brown says, you need to feel the fear and you need to do it anyway. You've got to respect the opportunity and see it so much bigger than what you see yourself. I think the problem is that we see ourselves, particularly again as women, I'm speaking to my ladies here, we see ourselves as too limited. You have to respect the opportunity that you have, and you owe it to yourself, and you owe it to those that need to hear. Somebody needs to hear you. And I can't push that enough. That's something that I tell my clients. That's something that I preach about. Ultimately, you would have heard me say this before as well. There is somebody that needs to hear from you. It is very selfish of us to hold back our gifts from the world. And the problem is that I find is that so many people, when something comes up that's quite new, I get reservations because we do want to make sure that we're doing the right thing. We don't want to offend anybody. We don't want to make ourselves look bad. But then, for example, let's talk about YouTube, for example. When YouTube first came out, people weren't really bothered about it, myself included. What is this thing? And now you're seeing the early adopters who have 7 million, 10 million subscribers that are hitting it up with big bucks. And we're like, now time to run. This is what is now an oversaturated market. So it's about getting on early. Figure out the stuff later. Don't try and make sense of it and try and rationalize things. You have a gift, you have a talent, you have an ability. Jump on it. You'll figure it out as you go along. And this is why you have things like the Black Webinar, Black Summit Seminar, and you have coaches on your Winningham. So to be able to help you get to the next level. And that's the thing. If you can't figure it out yourself, there is somebody that will be able to help you along the way. Don't miss out on the opportunity. Put some respect on it. Put some respect. And take the opportunity.
Oh my goodness.
Took me a while to get here, but I'm not looking back. I'm ready for the opportunity. I don't know who else.
That's a great point because we have a question in the comments on Facebook, and the question was, how do you make a broadcasting strategy? And I want to tweak the question because a lot of them are in the beginning stages of when it comes to broadcasting. So what was your strategy in the beginning?
Well, let me just be completely and totally honest with you. There was no strategy. For me, I was like, I love this. Because I'm very talkative. As you can probably tell. I love to talk to people. I feel like my voice is my gift. But I had no strategy. I just thought, I'm going to get on and I'm going to talk and I'm going to share. But what I would say to those of you that are thinking about what should be my strategy in the beginning, the first thing that you want to do is you want to start your broadcast as you need to go on. You need to speak like you're speaking to 10 million people. You need to operate that go live, that start podcast, and be powerful with what it is that you're saying. That's how you command the attention of your audience. That's how you retain people. That's how you get longer watch times to be able to share more of what you have to say. And that is the difference between, there are so many people that are doing live streaming, but if those of you that are here, if you look at the heavy hitters, you'll see that there is synergy. There's something that runs through. They are very powerful. The start, the top, middle, and the bottom. They are all the way through. Coach Danielle does not, my goodness, I'm disappointed when Coach Danielle is on because I know I'm going to church. But that's the whole thing. That's what makes people stand up and listen. So my advice to those of you that are listening, seriously, it's about being powerful. Start your broadcast powerful, owning your story and owning what it is that you are an expert in, because you are an expert. We're all experts.
And one thing.
Slide over to Coach. Wait a minute, Coach, because I'm going to slide over to you, Coach, because I'm going to talk about the transition period. When it came to that live streaming, so Coach, You know what I'm gonna talk about.
I don't.
Today, that she took off her wig and forgot to put it on. And some people always say that, you know, when it comes to live streaming, they're scared that something's going to happen or go wrong. Somebody's going to say something, and they're going to freak out. But here you are, a gazillion broadcasts later.
Yep.
Coach. Come on, give it to him.
So, guys, what you have to, in this whole journey, not just being an entrepreneur, guys, and if you haven't shared this video, make sure you do, because somebody needs to hear it. And in this whole journey, not just being an entrepreneur, not just live stream, not just building your business, let's just talk about life. I always go back to the word, because the word says that all things that happen are for your good.
Amen.
And he didn't mince words. He didn't say the first 2 or 3 things. He didn't say any, mini, miny, mo that happens is for your good. He didn't say the high things or the low things, the even or the odds. He said that all things are happening for your good. So when I accidentally took the wig off on live stream, and anytime anything bad happens to me, I always go back to that quotation. When I went through my divorce, how is this working for my good? And it did. When I took the wig off on live stream, how is this working for my good? And it did. And even down to the wig, to me, was the last piece of unauthentic self. It was the holdover from corporate America. It was the divide between who God made me to be and who the world made me to be. And when I took the wig off, the last piece of lack of transparency and the last piece of falsehood fell away. My numbers doubled. My outreach doubled. My revenue tripled. People started writing me saying stuff like, because again, it was an accident. It wasn't intentional. You're talking about strategy, but you know, it wasn't intentional. And so I had to ask, is this what God is asking me to do? Take the wig off. And once I took it off, it was just me. There was nothing left to hide behind.
Your sound, Coach.
Yeah.
I lost my sound.
Sound's gone a bit. Let me see, check on my second device.
Can y'all hear me? What'd you say?
See if I can hear.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, some people say can't hear you.
I don't know what
Can
happened.
you hear me? I think we lost Coach Sonia. What happened to the sound?
Periscope can hear me.
But while Coach Sonia is fixing her sound, can I chime in with wig? Is that okay?
Yes.
So for me, when Coach Sonia took off her wig, it were situations where, but I believe something like what Coach Sonia was just saying, something amazing happened. And the word that comes to my mind is relatable. There is, again, it's about the power story being relatable, that you see somebody that is just like you, that it's like sometimes you see these images, and it happens all over Facebook. Facebook ads, the images of perfection. Yes, it's bigger than 6 minutes. I'm living the laptop lifestyle. When really, you know what I'm saying, honestly, when really it isn't that way. And for a lot of people, it might be fun, but for a lot of people that are watching, that's not relatable, and that can cause anxiety. It can cause all forms of doubt. It can feed into the very thing we're trying to fight against here, right? Which is getting women, individuals, business owners, entrepreneurs to understand their gifts, their talents, and abilities, and push through. And I think when that happens, that automatically just created a fire in individuals who saw that, like, oh my goodness, you know, Coach Sonia is just like me, you know, she's not perfect, or, you know, all of that kind of stuff, and made Coach Sonia even more relatable. And that's why, you know, as she just was explaining, you her business, her reach, her revenue, it doubles and triples. And I would encourage anybody to not be frightened of failing, making mistakes, or being transparent, being real you, because that's what people. What would you say, Olsie? Would you agree with that? I think that's what people find people, don't they?
Yeah, they want transparency. They definitely want the real you. I think that's one of the reasons why people have focused so much on, reality.
Yeah. You've heard me say that as well. That's because it as much as a lot of reality TV is trash TV, we're watching it because it's like, that could be me, that person's like me, I can be. And there is power in that. So as much as a lot of it is not that great to watch, the psychological message is a lot more. And that's why I personally, and I know you because we just understand that this tool, live streaming, is just, it's amazing to be able to be dental package, to be able to just talk and share and inspire other people. We both have our difficulties as well.
Okay, I've done everything. Altavis, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Girl, I did I'm like, I don't know what happened, but you know what, Janine, you're 100% right. In a world of everybody that is so fake. And guys, if you haven't shared this on Facebook, the numbers on Facebook look amazing. Thank you, Angela. If you haven't shared this, get women folk involved, because I think, Janine, we're shifting to an entire different dogma, an entirely different paradigm where it's just no time for fake ones. P. Diddy said it. It's no time for fake ones.
I agree with you 100%. And I really want to encourage anyone that is listening, and I can see some of the comments. I see Kiara said that, people want the real you. And Saleha said, may post on your more real. We've got to just really embrace who we are, embrace our journeys, embrace our challenges and difficulties, because ultimately I think that has much more power in it, in terms of having that heart-centered connection, to have that greater reach and influence. And if you are coming on all shiny and polished and all of that kind of stuff. So that's what I think about that. I just think you're a great inspiration, as are you, ultimately, for so many people and for women. And thank you for being my inspiration as well.
And I want to make this one last point, guys. If anybody is sitting there thinking that all that we do is not about the money, I need you to rethink that. Now, I didn't say it's all about the money. I didn't say that. But as women, we've got to stop allowing our finances, our revenue, our businesses to take a back seat until it's too late. We dedicate our life and our loyalty to these jobs, and we give them 150%, our gifts, our talents, and we don't carve out anything for ourselves. So when they get a bird in their butts and decide they want to let us go, or they don't want to give us a raise, or they want to pile more work on our plate, what is our recourse? We are literally powering the entire world and not require. Women do 3/4 of the world's work, but we only have 10% of the world's wealth and 1% of the world's land. Wow. This is a code black. And what that means is that you need to get your business so that you can launch it, so that you can quit being at the bottom of the bottom. If you look at a country's women, you'll see the state of that country. And so you see the women in all countries continuing to struggle by our own hands. I'm not talking about third world countries. I'm talking about domesticated countries where free commerce is the law of the land. We won't even put our gifts and talents on the market because we've been so brutalized. We've been so marginalized. We've been so talked down to and convinced that we don't have worth and we don't have gifts and that we're not worth anything. And our own relations with each other are such trash that you can't even look at the sister next to you and say, girl, you got this. And there has to be a change. I'm going to ask you every day, who are you encouraging? Who are you motivating? Cowards tear people down. It's easy to tear people down. It's easy to compare yourself to somebody else and say, nah, boo-boo, I'm better than you. If that makes you feel good, you got bigger fish to fry. That's a serious problem. But I can tell you, when I took that wig off, every single one of y'all got some wig you could take off. Every single one of you got something that is keeping you from being yourself, that you're hiding from the world, thinking that the world won't embrace you, when that's a lie.
Indeed.
That's a lie. So we've got to get to the base of our revenue. Guys, I invite you to do a couple of different things because I don't want you to sit here, be motivated, and then not have the tools to go forward. Number 1, December 1st through the 3rd, we are hosting a business building intensive in Atlanta. This is all about getting your business built. If you don't have a business, come to Atlanta. Hanging out with business women makes you want a business. Trust me. Hanging out with people that make money, tell them, Janine, it makes you want money. You look at all these people and you like, man, I know they're not smarter than me. So why is it that they have it that I don't have it? So whatever fears you have, a lot of times are mitigated. Not 100% resolved, but mitigated because you see other people doing what you want to do. So bit.ly/ATL Inspire. Look us up in Atlanta. Conference tickets go, we're going to have them discounted on November 1st. So don't miss your opportunity to be in a place. And I can't wait to get Janine to one of my conferences. But Janine has such a lovely spirit. And anytime you walk into our conferences, just to be in a room full of women where you're embraced, a room full of people where, you know, you're not judged, you're accepted for who you are, I promise you it's priceless. It puts you in a space where you can create instead of compete. So that's number 1. And then number 2, on November 9th, I am launching a life-changing program called the Black Code. And it is your formula for building and launching and quitting. So get those ideas out of your head and get them on paper. And Janine will tell you, if I ain't good at nothing else, I am good at getting those ideas out of your head, you getting them on paper and helping you put a price tag on them. So you can stop doing for free in the world that thing that could save you from going to a job every day. So November 9th, bit.ly/BLAQ code. Don't miss the opportunity to change your life. It's a 12-week course, $99 down, $99 a week. Or you can do the Black Code Light for $77 down and $77 a week. I would be remiss if I didn't charge you. It took me the better part of $100,000 a year for a couple of years to get where I am. I spent money to get here. And until sometimes you spend money on your gift, you don't even realize how much you're worth. I paid people that didn't even know as much as I knew. And that made me increase my prices. I'm like, really? That's what you charge? And that's what you're going to teach me? Oh, okay. I can increase my prices. So get there, bit.ly/ to get to earning $600,000 last year. The better part of $100,000 to get to a place where I earned over $500,000 last year. Somebody asked me to get to where? To get here. To get to a place where I have thousands of clients every year. To get to a place where I have 15, 20 sold out workshops a year, 10 or 12 sold out courses, 2 or 3 sold out conferences. In Indianapolis, we sold close to 300 live stream tickets. So when I say to get here, I mean to get to a place where what I have to offer is in demand. And what you have to offer is in demand too. But you got to create it first. Can't nobody buy it if you won't put it out there. Janine, what lesson did you learn about can't nobody buy the ideas that are in your head?
So again, I just that.
We talk about ghetto math and putting your ideas on paper and putting a price to them. Talk about what happens if you don't get your ideas out of your head and put a price on them.
Well, for one, biblically speaking, it says, write the vision plainly on a tablet. So if you read it, we'll run with it. Habakkuk 2 and 3 of the verses. But no, seriously, we've got to start taking, listen, Danielle, I listen to you. I listen. But seriously, you've got to get into the habit of taking things out of your head, because there it's handy floss, isn't it? When it's just there, thinking it just rolls around, and also what happens is that we just talk ourselves out of things, you know, our realities, our bills, like, oh, I can't do this. You've got to start getting it out of your head, even if it doesn't make sense. Write it down, and this is why you have a coach or a mentor, so that they can help you strategize through those things. So those things, the areas that you're struggling with, like, I have these ideas, I don't know how to take it from, you know, conception, idea, and to implement with strategy. This is why you have coaches, you know. So definitely get it down on paper. If it doesn't make sense, then get yourself somebody, an accountability coach, mentor, somebody like Coach Danielle. Most of you are connected with her already, and do that. Yeah, so that's what I would say.
Write the vision and make it plain. And here's the second part, Janine. And though it's hairy, see, you may not get there overnight.
Yes. Wait for it.
Wait for it.
It doesn't happen overnight, and that's the thing that I wanted to say about reach. And I don't know if it's okay for me to just kind of make a few points regarding reach in terms of your social media, because that's obviously the point of why I'm here, to help those of you that are struggling to press the go live, or you're not quite sure what you want to do. My thing would be to say to you, this is what worked for me, how I grew my group organically to over 5,000 results at the beginning, and how I've been able to do what I'm doing. You need to focus your efforts in the right place. Don't just be a deer in the headlights, going trying to all over the place. And again, if you're struggling, this is when you get coached. And it's about finding out where your people are, where your ideal clients are. Make sure that you're doing your research, looking out for them. And also promote shamelessly. Really turn up, show up, be out there, because there's a whole theory of the 7 touches, isn't there? But people need a certain amount of exposure to you. You're also rocking with these algorithms that they're all struggling with. Me and Arthur talk about that all the time. But show up, promote yourself shamelessly. If you're not going to stick up for yourself and say, I am the business, let's say something else, who else is going to do it for you? You must promote shamelessly. Continue to add value, continue to show up, and be a teacher, be in a position of service, you know. So Gary Vee speaks about it. Give. And look how much value you're getting on this seminar. Look how much value you're going to be getting for 2 days, because Coach Danielle is giving to help you activate your greatness. So that's what we are all here for. That's what Ultimate's is here for. That's what I'm here for. If you follow all of what you see, some things I've said here, and all of the awesome talks you're going to hear, you're going to start growing. You're going to start building up, scaling, all of that stuff.
And we must. I read an article that said that while women are the number one segment starting new businesses, I want to say it was like 89% of those women fail to scale. So we get stuck at like a $40,000 earnings, and we can't go any further. And a lot of that is because of the lack of collaboration, number one, the lack of knowledge. We won't hire expert help. Number two, we won't build teams. We won't build teams of people that help us out. We want to run through here like the Lone Ranger and be a solopreneur or a lonepreneur. And that's just not how you build a corporation. That's just not how you build a company. I have 25 plus people that work with me to make this happen every day. But for every person I bring on staff, that's an extra $40,000, $50,000 in revenue that I could see that I wouldn't see if that person weren't on staff. You know what I'm saying? We just got to be honest about the help that we need to move to the next level. So, you're right. Reach takes time, Janine.
It doesn't happen overnight. But like I said, if you continually show up and you're adding value and you're creating opportunities as well, and that's something that I pride myself on as well, and I know that you guys do that as well, is that you are coaches who create opportunities, because And then I met with you in 2016. But when I first started, I was just out there kind of just trying to wade through the mud. But now most of you that are consuming the content from Coach Danielle, Ultimate, myself, and all the amazing people that are going to be on over the next 2 days, you are benefiting from us kind of going and being in the trenches. So don't sleep on this opportunity, because it is an opportunity of a lifetime. So get the help and just, find your wings and fly.
Yeah, and because whoever asked that question said, you know, what is your strategy? See, how do you just go live? You, like Janine said, you've got to have an objective. Anything that you do, you know, we have to be just like God is intentional about our lives and our plans for his plans for our lives. We have to be just as intentional about our plans. We got to be just as deliberate, and the things you're deliberate about, they grow.
Yeah.
And so as you're out there building whatever movement that you're building, my word of warning to you is do not forget to monetize.
That's right. And I would say, if I can just say as well, don't be frightened to, if you are in a place of stagnation, don't be frightened to pivot as well. It means that you're going to have to make some adjustments and changes to see the development in your business. Don't be frightened to, don't be a hamster in a wheel. Don't be frightened to pivot. I did that. I shut down my group of 5,000+ women, and the reason I did that was because I really want to get intentional and targeted at what it is I'm doing, really strategize. So some people said that I was crazy, but I'm confident enough in my abilities and what I am able to do to know that I'm going to be able to replicate that and go beyond that. So don't be frightened to pivot. Don't be frightened to try something new, but definitely be intentional and get the help and support that you actually need.
And people are always going to call you crazy. Here's the thing. If somebody's not calling you crazy, you're not doing enough. Ooh, Danielle, she crazy. She go live 2-3 times a day. That's crazy. You need to get some crazy in your life. Ooh, Janine is crazy. She closed her group of 5,000 people. You're so busy worried about what people are saying about you that you forgot they're not your objective.
There you go.
You report to a higher power, a higher purpose, and a higher calling.
Yeah.
And besides that, ain't none of them people that's saying you crazy paying your bills. Now, when they start, I may pay attention.
Exactly.
But until then.
Yeah.
So thank you, Janine, for gracing us. Also, V's, do we have any questions? You guys have any questions for myself, for Janine? Man, this tells someone it's just, if you watch Janine on live stream, she's a force. You can follow her at, tell them where to follow you, Janine.
Okay, you can follow me on Periscope, periscope.tv, Janine Cummings. You can follow me on Facebook, find me at Janine Inspires. I'm also on YouTube and Instagram. Just because my name is Janine Inspires, and I'm everywhere. But I'm mostly focused right now on Facebook, and just, maximizing my reach over there. So I'm doing quite a lot of things, do stories, and Facebook business pages without paid advertising. So just look me up. I'm there.
She is. She's not. And I want to thank you, Janine, for being an inspiration for me. I'm one of those people that used to hide in your stands and be like, "Oh, I wish I could do that. Oh, she's so pretty. Oh, she's so funny. Oh, I wish I could do that." Long before I hit that live button. I remember one day you was walking to work. Girl, this was a long time ago. You probably don't even remember. And you talk so fast, but I watched you so much. That's why now I can even when we started having phone conversations, I could understand you because I'd been watching you for so long. So it was just like the filter was gone. I didn't need a filter anymore. And girl, you was walking across the street and this car almost hit you. Oh my God, they almost hit me. Oh my God, you better slow that car down. I was like, she is crazy. She is crazy. But you've been doing this. You've been doing this for a long time. And I'm thankful and blessed to see you turn the corner live out some of those conversations we only talked about.
Yes.
And I'm just so excited to see. I'm just so excited to watch you blossom and see what's next.
Thank you so much.
And I love you.
I love you more. And just for those of you, before I go, I just want to leave you with this quote. If you're in a situation where like, I don't know which way to go, this is a quote that I've quoted in my book. And it is by a spoken word artist. He's based in the UK, and the quote is, if I had stopped back then, how would I be here today? If I stop now, where will I be tomorrow? So, everybody, make sure you keep on going.
Gotta keep going. We got any questions in the crowd, Auto V's? I mean, keep going. I mean, I've been doing this for, even before live stream, I was coaching. And so I've been on this journey. I started July 11, 2011. This year made 6 years. 6 years. 6 years.
Long time.
6 years. But you got to stay the course.
So, I don't see a question, but I do see that Medora said her wig fell off at the club on a date.
I saw that earlier. I was like, oh, don't laugh now.
Oh my goodness. So one of my former bosses told me she was on a date one time. Her name is Iris, and I love me some Iris. And this was long before wigs were status quo. Long before weave was the stuff. And she was walking on her date, think she was looking cute, and walked past this tree and didn't know it. And the tree had grabbed her wig, and baby, she still walked with her date, thinking she looking cute. And she saw this horrified look on his face. And back then you had the pantyhose on underneath to keep your hair flat. And so that's what he was saying. So, we all have incidents. Nobody's any better than anybody else.
Definitely. And they said that, the wig taking off and removing the wig can definitely be a metaphor for taking off of anything that is holding you back when it comes to you elevating to the next level. So that's definitely a great thing to see.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We all have something. If you had to identify what is the biggest thing holding you back, it would be unequivocally you. And you can't move until you allow you to be free. And if that means get some help, to be free, we've got to stop being afraid to get whatever help is required to be free. When they asked Harriet how many people did she free from slavery, she said, I freed hundreds, but I would have freed hundreds more had they known they were slaves. It took me a long time to realize I was a slave to my job. And it may take you a long time too. But just know when you do wake up and realize that there's more for you to do out there, that the quicker you get help, the easier the journey. It's not an easy journey regardless. It just makes it easier. You get there a little faster. That's it.
Awesome. I'm going to ask you ladies to do a final statement, but your final statement is going to be centered around a question that was asked. And the question that was asked is, what do you do if you put something out there and nobody shows up? And I know that we all know that feeling of going into a broadcast and it's just you and the Terry person and there's nobody else there. So what your final statement is going to be, what do you do in that moment of it's just you? There's nobody in the crowd.
I'm sure you want me to go first. What would you?
You going first, Janine? I want to make sure we don't say the same thing.
Well, it's so funny that you're asking about this whole thing because I actually posted a post yesterday about the journey of being alone on my personal page. And one of the things that I got spiritually yesterday was that we have to know that God needs us to be strong enough and courageous enough to be able to stand alone. Because, we have great responsibility, and he needs to know that we can take anything that comes our way, and that our source and our supply, we should only rely upon him, not anybody else to validate us. And, I've given this example before with regards to me going live. Last year when I started on my business page, I remember doing 2 broadcasts, but one in particular, I wasn't feeling very well, and I went live, and I think I was live for about 20 my content, no live viewers. And it's only when I repurposed it about 2 months and a half, 2 months ago, there was still only 47 total views. What's my point? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if there are no eyeballs on you. You have to understand the power of the replay for one. Somebody is always watching. You should not need somebody, a number, to validate what it is that you're doing. Know that you are enough, and that the right people will get the message. Too many people are reliant on people to build them up and to keep them going. No, you need to be able to say, you know what, I'm strong enough, I'm courageous enough, I'm going to step onto that platform. And if nobody is there, I'm going to talk like there is 100 million people in front of me, because there is always somebody who's going to come back, and there's always somebody watching, whether you know it or not. So, that's my business.
That was great, Janine. That was great, Janine. You know, along a similar lines, I want to tell a story. I know I'm one of the last remaining great American storytellers, you know, and I want to tell you a story about a man who wrote a book. And when he first wrote the book, I think it sold like 9,000 or 10,000 copies. Just so happened I had one. Me and my aunt, we're voracious readers. I live with my aunt in California. And we got this book by this new man who said, man, this book is amazing. It's amazing it hadn't sold more copies, but it didn't. But he kept going. And he wrote another book. You may have heard of it before. It's called The Firm. And the man's name is John Grisham. So he wrote the book called The Firm. It went on to be a New York Times bestseller. Went on to be a blockbuster movie. He wrote another book called The Pelican Brief. It went on to be a New York Times bestseller. Went on to be a blockbuster movie. And that book that he wrote so long ago, called A Time to Kill, they went back and got that book. And that book ended up being a New York Times bestseller. And that book ended up being a blockbuster movie. And I think Morgan Freeman was in that movie. So, you know, there's a time and a place for everything. Sometimes now is just not your time. But if you keep going, eventually it will be. No one starts at 1,000. No one starts at 10,000. No one starts at 1,000,000. Everyone starts at 0. And when I first started going on social media, I may post something and nobody may like it. Nobody may comment. And then the next day I may post something and 2 people may like it. Comment. The next day it may be 4. I've had telesummits where no one signed up and no one showed up. I've had workshops that no one signed up for, no one showed up for. You've got to go through the desert to get to the oasis. You don't just start at the oasis. The key, though, the key is to keep moving. And every time you do something, you learn what to do and what not to do. And eventually, you get to where you're going. And now I can put a webinar out there, man, and have 1,000, 2,000 people sign up in 2 or 3 days. And it's always amazing to me. And I'm always so grateful. I'm always so grateful. I'm always so humbled that anybody would come watch me. But the key is you got to start and you got to stay started. Beyonce, it took Beyonce 5 years to get a record deal. It took her 9 years to have her first #1 album. And now she's a billionaire. But she didn't just start. She started and she stayed started. So if you could stay on your journey like that, anything is possible. But you start, you learn as much as you can along the way. You stay encouraged, you stay motivated, and you keep showing up. And eventually, they can't deny you if you keep showing up.
That's right.
So that's the question. Will you keep showing up? That's it.
Yeah, I agree 100%. 100%. Thank you for showing up.
Thank you for showing up.
That's the job of a great leader, you know, and you do it. You're unrelenting. You don't give up. You don't stop. You don't, nothing. You know, you've reached out to me when I've been in the morning getting ready that time when you rang me and I had one eyebrow drawn on. And I saw the video, missed call, I'm like, oh, don't me. And I looked at the time, I was like, 3 o'clock in the morning, you don't stop. And that's amazing, and that's a sign of a great coach. So thank you for being that person for me and to all of us, really.
Thank you. You know, that's our lot as women. We supposed to check on each other. If I see Janine missing for a little while, I'm going to send her a message and I'm going to say, where you at, boo? We got work to do. We got work to do. If I see Alto V's missing for a minute, she going to get a message, where you at, boo? We got work to do. So we used to call them welfare checks. Check on your sisters. And if you don't have anybody checking on you, that means you're not checking on anybody.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
That's it, Alto V's. Did we lose Alto V's?
Huh?
I'm over here. I was here before I went back on the screen. Sucking it in. Stand up.
I don't like this.
No, it's definitely been an amazing experience with knowing both of these ladies. So those of you who do not know who they are, then you must have been asleep this whole broadcast, and that's okay. We understand. But now that you're awake, we need you to connect with both of these amazing women. We have Sonia Winningham, who is former VP of JP Morgan, and the one and only Janine Cummings, who is a live streaming coach and strategist. And so if you haven't connected with them on social media, connect with them, Periscope, Facebook, Instagram. They are on all 3 platforms, Twitter as well, but definitely all 3 platforms that they go live on. You definitely want to connect. And for those of you who are looking to get those, did somebody say free stuff? Some gifts? You gotta register. And you have to share out this broadcast. DIC.ly/BLAQ webinar is how you register. And sharing out the broadcast is as easy as going in the corner and look at that little share button, pressing it, and sharing it out. That's what you have to do.
And guys, guess what? At 12:30 today, we've got the killer lineup. It just continues. bit.ly/black webinar BLAQ to get updated on who's next. But we got Shay Brown, who is a sales genius, and Trevor Otts, who is a reach. I've been watching these cats for a long time. And if you guys have not heard of Black CEO, they set and built Black CEO from the ground up. And Black CEO has turned into a movement. And it's amazing. By over 100,000 people in no time. So you're talking about experts on reach and experts on sales. 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Meet us back here. They're going to be in the place. I'm sure they're going to rock it. So don't miss out, because as women, Janine said earlier, don't be afraid to put what you do out there. We are so super afraid to make an offer. That's the one thing we don't do, is we don't ask. We will present. We will show up. We will tell you the features and show you the benefits, but we will never ask for the business. And it is ruining our bottom line. So we got to learn. Yes,
100% agree. And that's something that I have learned from you, Coach Sonia. So thank you so much. And I definitely have a freebie to give everybody. So I will leave that in the hands with yourself, also being new coach, but what an amazing freebie for you as part of the webinar. So thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Janine. Thank you, Alto V's.
Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye, everybody. I'll see you guys at 12:30.